All right, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Ha Rukah Kudash. Double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule great millstone wow, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom wa abal babal. So, I just every morning, every day, thankfully, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai has kept me faithful in my studies for over a year now, just getting it in on a regular base. In over a year, I really lost track of time. So could it be even more than a year that the Lord has actually increased my study, and I was able to keep the pace for over a year. And part of my study every morning is the Hebrew. All right, I write one word. I do one word of Hebrew, Spanish, and Cebuano. And a lot of times, there's times where the languages all match up because it all goes back to the Hebrew, right? Even English will add up sometimes to the Hebrew and have a meaning that it still means the same thing today, even in this bastard language, English. Now, I was looking up the word today, owner, and as you can see, it's Ba-I-L, which you get bail, all right, which is a English word used today. And it says the temporary release of an accused person awaiting trial, sometimes on condition that the sum of money be lodged to guarantee their appearance in court. So this shows you that we are prisoners, slaves, subject to payment under the so-called white race. All right, because when you get a bondsman, they're putting their name on you because they become your owner. See? It's the same thing. A verb, release of secure, the release of a prisoner on payment of bail. See? You got to call a bail bondsman to bail you out, which that person don't you really use money. They showed it on their programming where the bondsman just uses his identity, like credit to get the person out, and then they charge high interest rates, and even destroy people's families on the failing of going to court, right? So they're able to go in there and destroy you, put you back in slavery, put you in that prison system, which in America you could be enslaved by going to prison. All right, that's why they want to make everyone in America a criminal, so that they pretty much could enslave you. All right, and they're gonna falsely accuse the elect, and it ain't gonna work because our owner is Yahweh through His Son Yahweh Shai, which bought us with His precious blood. He laid down His life for us. He is our sacrifice for our sin, and Yahweh Shai is the author and finisher of our faith. All right, but the Lord rebuked the Edomite, the so-called white man, and his devilish plan of bringing out an implantable microchip and making it mandatory for buying and selling. All right, he's going to try to pretty much own you through making you have to take an implantable microchip using deception, like famine. He'll cause a famine. All right, and then say, "Oh, there's a limited source after everyone's killing each other. And if you want any access to this limited source, you're gonna have to take a microchip to be bailed out of your situation." And when he does that, you're pretty much showing that he owns you. All right, so don't go down to Egypt for help. All right, Egypt is America. Don't depend on the government handouts to take care of you, because it's going to lead to an implantable microchip. It's Isaiah 31, verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. This is talking about spiritual Egypt, America, and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. Because you see that they have a large army or military might, but you don't realize that even their soldiers are starving. I did sit downs on it, on how the U.S. soldiers, which is a NATO military, are in food, programs from the government to get free food because they can't afford on what they're living. Don't trust on these false fables that they teach throughout their education system, through their employment system, throughout their media system. All right, they push a lot of propaganda and they tell you the opposite. Like they tell you peace and safety, but really we're about to see destruction. It already started. That's why they have their own soldiers are doing what they're doing since the beginning of this year, 2025, the year of judgment, the whole full year of judgment, where the Lord pays the wicked a visit and delivers us at the same time. He says, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahweh. So we're looking unto the Holy One of Israel, and we're seeking Yahweh through the Word. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, which we already put his word out through prophecy, but will arise against the house of the evildoers, which today is the Edomite, the so-called Caucasian, the wicked that rule the world, and that's why the world is in wickedness. And against the help of them that work iniquity, talking about the Israelite that helped them to commit iniquity. Now the Egyptians, which you could say the Americans, are men and not God. And that's the problem. They think they're God, that they're untouchable. They think because they have the control of the dollar and they control the world through the dollar, through the media, using America. And they use Jake, which is the salt of the earth, to deceive. All right? They think they'll never be taken down. Now the Egyptians are men and not God. Once again, you can replace Egyptian with Americans. These Americans are not God. And their horses, flesh. Meaning they already tell you the chariots in heaven, the so-called UFOs, the orbs, they do things that their planes can't do. Even these drones can't keep up with the chariots. All right, because they are flesh and not spirit. When Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they shall fail together. And that's why you're going to see all these nations weeping at the fall of America. It says, verse 17, Revelation 18, verse 17, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? Talking about America. And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Allah's, that great city wherein we were made rich, and all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets. For Yahweh, sending his son Yahushua, hath avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. See? So the Lord's going to avenge us because they mistreated us here. And not just for one generation, for multiple generations. And that's why we're going to get payback. The Lord's going to destroy their kingdom, and they're going to be reincarnated under the elect in slavery, and eventually under all the Israelites. But the Edomite is pretty much going to be made extinct. Psalms 137 verse 1, By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. We wept when we remembered Zion. So we've been in captivity for a long time. And America is just like Babylon. And you got the Israelites crying on the highways and the byways, right? Because we're remembering Zion. Now, it says in verse 7, speaking to the Edomite, Psalms 137, verse 7, Remember, O Yahweh, the sons of Edom, which is that so-called white race, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, which means destroy it, destroy it. And since the time of Babylon, and even before, these Edomites been trying to pretty much murder us, even to the foundation thereof, meaning all of us. The only thing is we're not completely destroyed because the Lord made a promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that was even before the earth existed. The Lord was going to do this. O daughter of Babylon, talking about America, the kingdom of Edom, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. So we rejoice in knowing that you're going to get yours. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones, and it's going to be merciless. See, so it's going to be worse than what you were allowed to do to us, because it's payback, bitch. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Wa ababa ball.